Together you own millions of souls. Souls at risk with the new extermination schedule.
The creators and cast are diligently working toward releasing more episodes of Hazbin Hotel. The second season is in production, with voiceovers completed and animatics teased at events like San Diego Comic-Con. During a recent interview, series' creator Vivienne Medrano shed some light on the beloved character Rosie, the role she would play, and how it correlates to the other Overlords. Medrano promised that Rosie would receive more screen time as she interacted with her fellow Overlords in the upcoming season. These interactions will reveal more about these leading demons and their domains in Hell. Many Overlords were introduced in the first season of Hazbin Hotel, and fans are eager to learn more about them. In today's video, we'll discuss what we'd like to see from the Overlords in future episodes.
Oh, look at you! So polite! Alistair, you could learn a thing or two. Well, sit down, sit down.
Number 1. Friendships. Throughout the first season, there's a clear indication that the Overlords don't always get along. In Scrambled Eggs, the group discusses recent exterminations and the significant loss of souls. The meeting is called from necessity as many of the Overlords seem willing to work together to thwart a common enemy and preserve their precious capital, souls. Unfortunately, their meeting ends quickly when Velvet causes conflict in the group, as the old and new Overlords have a massive divide between them. The V's plan to take down everyone around them, which causes numerous rivalries to bloom against the Overlords. In contrast, the friendships between the Overlords provided some of the best scenes in the first season and should receive more screen time during future episodes. As they've existed for decades and make their livings based on soul contracts, it makes sense that some Overlords would develop long-lasting and unwavering friendships over time. There's an unexplored level of trust in these bonds, first shown between Carmilla and Zestial. The latter could tell his old friend was distressed in Scrambled Eggs and confronted her about it. In return, Carmilla told him the truth about the murder of an exorcist angel, wearing her heart on her sleeve when she explained that fear for her family influenced her actions. Rosie and Alistair's friendship became a welcome surprise that rippled through the fanbase after the debut of Hello Rosie. They hold each other in high regard, have inside jokes, enjoy one another's company, and help cut deals for the other, ensuring they maintain their relevance and power. As Medrano has promised that Rosie, in particular, will interact with the other Overlords, she and Alistair will likely continue sharing the screen. Another well-established friendship is the one shared between the V's. They decided to make a company together and teamwork ensured their relevance. Fortunately, their work is made easier because they care for one another, and the second season may further blur the lines between their roles as coworkers and friends.
Welcome, Hell's Sovereign Overlords. I've invited you all here because you represent the controlling powers of our city.
Number 2. Histories. Many Overlords have achieved their status after years of working and gaining power. While some have only risen in significance in the passing decades, others have existed for centuries, leaving countless years of history and experiences in their wake. In another interview, Alistair's past was teased as a plot point in the second season. As a main character and potential antagonist down the line, exploring Alistair's backstory will enhance the narrative and make his character more emotionally relevant to the audience. However, there are many different routes that the writers could have taken when exploring Alistair's story and where he came from. They could show his life when he was still human, taking lives and spending his free time with Mimsy, which would ultimately be cut short when he loses his life in what many believe would be considered a hunting accident due to the nature of Alistair's character design and tidbits about his character. They could dive into his first year in Hell, finally explaining where he received the power to overthrow countless Overlords and make a name for himself. They could also explain his 7-year absence and what drove him to make a deal with someone else, which is the most pressing question on everyone's minds after the season finale. There's a lot of great potential for Alistair's character when it comes to exploring his past, but he isn't the only Overlord deserving of the extra screen time. Learning how Rosie became the leader of an entire town and why Carmilla found herself in Hell with her daughters at her side would be intriguing subplots for the second season and may reinforce the popularity gleaned by the two women.
But I'm sure the little bug can take care of it for you.
I think you should go, Mimsy. Now.
Number 3. Deals and contracts. Overlords receive their power and influence based on the amount of souls they own. In making deals with lesser demons, they stand much to gain, from literal power to the control of army-sized legions of the population. Overlords can call on their contracts anytime, taking someone away from their personal lives to do their Overlord's bidding instead. Alistair does so in the pilot episode when summoning Husk and Nifty to work in the Hazbin Hotel. He also summons shadow-like demons occasionally, who help film the hotel's commercial and fix the building when it's broken. If the second season plans to explore the Overlords in more detail, then learning about the types of deals and contracts they make could reveal their motivations. For example, Alistair doesn't seem interested in monetary gain, as he makes deals that could benefit him. However, other Overlords with unique talents and businesses may attract specific clients. Valentino, for example, makes adult films and contracts people he believes will perform and comply with his whims. His contract with Angel Dust requires Angel to do whatever Valentino wants at work, regardless of the traumatic repercussions. Carmilla manufactures angelic weapons, and she may make deals with demons needing mass production or a continued supply of ammunition. In Hello, Rosie, Rosie promises to help one of her clients get back at her husband before greeting Alistair and Charlie. If she makes contracts, it may be to help them cope with difficult family members or various problems in their personal lives. As everyone seems rather happy in Cannibal Town, Rosie may go out of her way to keep things running smoothly. If every Overlord takes on different types of contracts and cuts specific deals, it would also explain why they're successfully coexisting without stealing from one another.
This little darling is nifty.
Hi, I'm Nifty. It's nice to meet you.
Number 4. Unique powers. The Overlords wouldn't be as successful as they are without unique skill sets and abilities. These are some of Pride Ring's strongest demons, and they incite fear in those who know them. In Scrambled Eggs, Zestial can't walk down the street without inciting fear in the locals, causing many to flee or do anything to escape his presence. Their reaction speaks volumes and tells the audience that Zestial may be capable of unseen horrors. Other Overlords have specific powers tied to their appearances and potentially their deaths. For example, Alistair and Vox have constricting powers. Alistair uses the radio to broadcast his enemies' screams, and Vox can control any type of modern screen. These skills help them in their daily lives as radio and television hosts, while helping them maintain power. It seems that the Overlords can tap into other sources of power too, as Alistair has used what appears like sorcery and his full demon form to overwhelm others, including a group of loan sharks and a legion of exorcists. The other Overlords like Rosie, Velvet, Carmilla, and others likely have similar abilities to show off in the second season.
Broadcast your screams for every other disrespectful wretch who dares to question me.
Number 5. Possible redemption. The central premise of Hazbin Hotel is finding the goodness in sinners. The story blurs the line between good and evil and causes the audience to question their morals and corrupt systems. Charlie faced ridicule and scorn for everything she tried to accomplish, but she proved redemption was possible when Serpentius ascended to heaven following his death. Once the sinners in hell learn about Serpentius' fate, they may flock to the hotel's doors, begging Charlie for their shot at a better life. One of these new residents could be an Overlord who either endorses or acts as a patron for the hotel. Along the way, they may learn to redeem themselves, allowing them to leave behind their contracts, territory, and power to become one of heaven's newest angels.
You know where I am, Dad. I've told you before.
You have? Oh. Yeah,
In Hazbin Hotel, characters like Rosie and Alistair decide what happens in hell and how life operates in the Pride Ring. Their significant reputation and powers make them some of the most influential characters in the series, so it's no surprise that they have essential roles in the second season. Now that each character has had a proper introduction, future episodes provide the perfect opportunities to explore their motivations, relationships, and soul-binding contracts. As Charlie continues to gain notoriety in hell, there's no doubt that her interactions with the Overlords will become more frequent. However, only time will tell if they'll become the princesses of Hell's friend or foe.
It's no big deal, Faggy. You know, maybe I can just help,
No.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications to stay updated on our uploads.
You didn't fail me. Faggy, you're not...
If I can't help you, what's the point of me?